Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. 24-year-old Matt Boyd continues his late season audition for the Tigers. Today he'll make his fourth start in a Tigers uniform as we welcome him to Comerica Park. It is a gorgeous day for baseball here this afternoon. Game 4 featuring the Tigers and the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Ron Allen. Glad to have you with us here for the series finale in this one. And Matt Boyd takes the mound today for the Tigers. Rod, what does he need to do to be successful against what is a pretty good Rangers lineup?
Yeah, this Rangers team, they're playing some pretty good baseball right now. And since July 30th, they haven't lost against a left-hander. Boyd simply has to command his fastball today. He needs to pitch inside aggressively to the lefties and the righties. That will get him to the changeup. If he does that, he'll have a positive afternoon.
All right, now for the Tigers, Miguel Cabrera, well, since he's come off the disabled list, nobody's been able to get him out. He's had a terrific series.
This dude is ridiculous. I mean, you think about missing 37 games, no rehab assignment down to the minor leagues. He's come back 15 of 30 as far as the ABs are concerned. He's on base, it seems like, every single time he goes to the dish, and I really love what Miguel is doing. He is basically taking what the opposition gives him. They're giving him base hits the opposite way, so he's taking singles and doubles in that direction. Only one hit to left field since he's come back off the disabled list. Expect Miguel Cabrera to get some fastballs inside today or cutter inside today from Hamels, and if he does so, Miggy might just circle the pillows this afternoon.
Right, well, hopefully that'll be the case. Hopefully the Tigers can earn the split here this afternoon. Game 4 coming up. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios. And Johnny Kane standing by. But coming up in this one here today, the big deadline deal for the Rangers. Cole Hamels will take the mound this afternoon. Tigers, Texas, next. gorgeous day for baseball. The starting lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for the Rangers, a couple of changes today. Delino DeShields leads off in center, followed by Shin-Soo Choo in right. Adrian Beltre is hitting third at third base. Moreland at first. Napoli is the DH and places Prince fielder. Rougned Odor is at second base. Bottom three is Strasburger, Jimenez, and Alberto. And the pitcher today for the Tigers is Matt Boyd. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Hey, Boyd's got a pretty good fastball. It goes anywhere from 90 to 95. Average fastball, 92, 93. He'll need to use that fastball aggressively today. Pitch inside, which will get him to his best pitch, which is a changeup. Also, lots of curveballs and sliders need to be thrown by Boyd today.
So on a gorgeous afternoon here as the Tigers wrap up this series, we have the Rangers coming to the dish, and their leadoff man is Delino DeShields. And today's ball game is underway as DeShields looks at a ball high. 79 degrees our game time temperature. A little bit of a breeze here this afternoon. Here's the 1-0 pitch. DeShields looks at a strike, 1-1. Delino DeShields Jr. in the series 2 out of 12. He has scored a couple of runs. He shows bunt and drops it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. DeShields batting .259 was selected in the Rule 5 draft from the Houston Astros.
And DeShields anticipating a fastball from Boyd, which is a lot easier to bunt, but when he throws the breaking ball, the timing is disrupted, and therefore DeShields could not get the ball on the ground.
He has hit 1 home run this year. Speed is the name of his game. Here's the 1-2 from Boyd. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
His daddy could run a little bit too.
That he could. Delino Sr. played, 13 years in the major leagues.
Carved out a real nice big league career.
There is Shin-Soo Choo waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Full count now, 3-2 on DeShields. Rangers at 63 and 59 flip the numbers for the Tigers. 59 and 63. The Rangers moving into the wild card spot with their win last night. Swing and a miss. DeShields is out of there. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health. In the outfield, they have J.D. Martinez, who has 14 outfield assists this year. He has been tremendous. Davis at center, Collins, he's in left. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Victor Martinez at first base. Only the 3rd start of the season at first base for Victor Martinez. Very nice job here by Boyd coming back on a 3-2 fastball to throw it by DeShields.
Now Shin-Soo Choo. He looks at ball 1. Choo is just 1 for 10 in the series. He does have a couple of walks. Batting .243 this year. That'll back him out of there, 2-0. I don't think the Rangers really have gotten what they expected from Choo when they signed him to the big deal a couple of years ago, but in his defense, he was injured much of last year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He has not performed nearly as well as he performed when he was with the Indians and also the Cincinnati Reds. But as you mentioned, he will take a walk. As a matter of fact, since the All-Star break, Shin-Soo Choo has been on base. Every single one of his starts, he has reached base safely since the All-Star break.
Beltre waiting on deck. Yeah, that's a stretch of 27 consecutive games since the break. And Choo looks at a strike, 3-1.
Dangerous fastball hitter. Choo has always been a dangerous fastball hitter. He'll be looking for that fastball right now on the 3-1 pitch from Boyd.
Walked him. It'll be a 1-out base runner for Texas. And it brings up Adrian Beltre. Beltre elevated to the 3 spot in the lineup today. .267. Really based on his past performances, kind of an average year for Beltre, if that.
Got off to a really slow start. Then he missed some time on the disabled list with a bad thumb. But really, since coming off the disabled list, he has performed very well. And it kind of coincides with the Rangers as a team kind of taking off toward the tail end of July.
Beltre looks at ball one.
Very important pitch right there. The fastball inside thrown by Boyd. And not only off the plate inside, it'll be necessary for him to throw that ball over the inside corner.
Rangers coming in have won 8 of their last 10, including the last 2 in this series. And Beltre looks at a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Beltre, who's been around quite a while now, and he's passed Julio Franco for the most games played among Dominican-born players.
You know you're doing something if you pass Franco. Franco played till he was about 60.
No, not quite. I think it was 48, but close enough. There's the ball low, 2-1.
He wasn't 60.
No, he wasn't 60. But think about that, because Franco played till he was 48, and Beltre's in his mid-30s.
Right.
And he's already passed him in games played, so that's pretty impressive. 2-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out, just underway at Comerica. And a strike call, 2-2.
That's a well-located fastball at 92 south of the knees. Adrian Beltre, he didn't quite think so. Adam Hammery is the home plate umpire this afternoon.
Looked pretty good.
It did.
Boyd struck out DeShields to start the inning. Then he walked Chu. And he'll draw a throw. Rangers, with their win yesterday, moved past the Angels into second place, 4 games behind Houston, but in the second wild card spot now. And boy, the last 5-6 weeks of the season going to be very interesting in terms of postseason play. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Beltre goes down. Second strikeout of the ball game for Boyd.
And both of Boyd's strikeouts so far this afternoon have come on 92-mile-per-hour fastballs. One down to DeShields. This one up in the strike zone, right past Beltre.
So with 2 outs, here is Mitch Moreland. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Strike 1 on Moreland.
Yeah, usually Boyd will use the breaking ball just as a get-me-over pitch, whether it's to the left-handers or the right-handers. His slider is used more as a put-away pitch. Of course, his changeup, as we've well documented since he's put on the Tigers uniform, it's his second-best pitch, and behind that 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
1-1.
Nice conversation with the rookie catcher James McCann this morning, and he just said how important it was going to be for him to command his fastball, and he sees him as a guy that's going to get better with command of the fastball. And once he does, McCann believes that Boyd can win a lot of games in the majors.
Well, he won a lot of games in the minors this year. His numbers were just off the charts. On the outer edge, 1-2. This season in the minor leagues, 9-2 with a 1.65 ERA for Boyd.
And his numbers against right-handed batters in the minors were just really mind-boggling. I believe right-handers only hit 165 against Boyd in the minors.
Sun starting to peek through the clouds a little bit here this afternoon.
It's a nice, pleasant afternoon.
A little bit of a breeze. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And another toss back to first base. There you have it right there, the numbers in the minor leagues. And Boyd at New Hampshire in the Blue Jays system, which is Double-A, was 6-1. Then he got to Buffalo and went 3-1 there. Before the trade brought him to the Motor City.
And see if he goes with that slider as his put-away pitch here.
Ball high.
If it was, he hung it.
2-2 on Mitch Moreland. Napoli would bat next if Moreland were to reach. Check swing roller back to the mound. Knocked down by Boyd. He's got plenty of time, though. That'll take care of the side. No runs, a walk, couple of strikeouts, one man left. Will take their first swings in the bottom of the first, and their lineup looks like this today. It's presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Rajay Davis leads it off. He's in center field, followed by Kinsler and Cabrera. Victor is playing first today. JD in right. Castellanos leads all third basemen with 6 triples this year. McCann, Iglesias, and Tyler Collins will round it out. And a tough opponent today, that would be Cole Hamels.
He has been quite the strikeout artist throughout his major league career. 158 of those this year, 46 base on balls. He's got a good fastball, outstanding changeup, curveball, also cutter. The 4 pitches that Hamels features.
So we'll see what the Tigers can do here against the trade deadline acquisition, Cole Hamels. Rajay Davis leads it off. And Davis hits the first one in the air to center field. It's going to be playable for DeShields. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And Tim Hortons will sponsor the starting defensive alignment for the Texas Rangers this afternoon. Chu, DeShields, and Strasburg in the outfield. Alberto Odor up the middle. They have Beltran and Morley on the corners. And Jimenez is the starting catcher here this afternoon.
So here is Kinsler, who has been awfully good in the second half this year. Right now at 305, hit a 3-run homer in the 9th inning last night to give the Tigers some hope, but they eventually fell 5-3. They had scored a run in the last 2 games prior to that home run by Kinsler.
And it was looking like they were going to get shut out again yesterday.
Hamels with the 0-1. That sails outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Cole Hamels has a really nice, smooth delivery. And tall, lanky body. Plus fastball gets up to 95. Changeup is well above average for a left-hander. There's that change piece. And it is a good one. It's got some real nice arm side run to it, down and away from the right-handed batters. And you'll see a lot of swings and misses on the pitch. It is a beautiful pitch for Cole.
Here's the 1-2. Little looper down the right field line. That's going to drop. Base hit. Kinsler taking a turn, but he'll hold up. Chu comes up with it quickly. It's a 1-out single.
Sometimes you can make a really good pitch, as Hamels does here after the previous changeup. This is the fastball inside. And Ian Kinsler is just so hot right now. It really doesn't matter. He's going to barrel up everything. He slices this ball down in the right field corner off of the bat of the Kinsler, and then you have to think about Chu, who can really throw, so he puts on the brakes and doesn't try to stretch that single into a double.
It looked initially like he might get a 2-base hit out of it, but Chu with a very strong throwing arm So here is Cabrera. Speaking of red hot, Miguel in this series 7 for 10. And Hamels backs him out of there 1-0.
Cole Hamels really has every reason in the world not to really mess with Miguel Cabrera this afternoon. And Miggy is 6 for 8 career against Hamels. And Miggy hitting 500 since coming off the disabled list. And Victor in the on deck circle. There's really no success against Hamels in his career.
There's another base hit. This one goes to right field. Kinsler hits the bag at second. He's going to third. And the throw will sail by. Kinsler very aggressively will be able to come home and score. Tigers get a break there, and it's 1-0 Detroit.
Even though Ian Kinsler did not try to stretch his single into a double, he did challenge the very strong arm of Chu, and he won. And Chu over aggressively throws that ball over the head of Hamels, who was there backing up into the dugout, which gets the Tigers the first run of the game.
Single E9, no RBI, 1-0 Tigers have the lead.
I guess Brad Ausmus is going to make his case for Miguel possibly being on third base right now.
That's got to be the argument here.
Didn't take long.
Nope.
How about Miguel, man? Ever since he's come off the disabled list, just about every last one of his hits have been to right field or up the middle. He really isn't trying to force the issue these days.
Well, another one, it got through the right side of the infield. They weren't playing him there, and he is able to produce a run here. No RBI for Mickey. It's scored on the air, but still. Here is Victor Martinez. Ball 1 to Victor.
And not many of the Tigers have seen Cole Hamels. Of course, he had been pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League. And Victor has seen him quite a bit. Miguel, the other one that's seen him. Nobody else has really seen much of Cole.
Big swing there, 1-1 on Victor. 3 for 11 in the series for Martinez. Tigers jumping out to the early lead here. A little bit of help from Shin-Soo Choo with a wild throw at third. Hamels is 31 years old. He is a native of San Diego, his birth city, 6'3", 202. It was an 8-player deal that was worked out on July 31st, coming over from the Phillies. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
It's also one of those deals. It's not like the David Price deal who went to Toronto. It's not like the Johnny Cueto deal. He went from Cincinnati to Kansas City. The Texas Rangers, they have Cole Hamels under control for the next 3 years.
And I think the Rangers are certainly looking at a Darvish-Hamels combo, which would be good once Darvish comes back. Fly ball right field, shallow, slicing. Chu is on the run. It's going to drop. Foul. Just foul. Martinez almost dropped in a 2-base hit.
And Victor sure could have used it.
J.D. Martinez waiting on deck. 1-2 the count on Victor. Victor this year 53 RBIs. He's got number 54 standing at second. Fouled it back. Hamels, of course, pitched that no-hitter right before the trade deadline, which had to elevate his value in terms of what the Phillies thought they could get in return. Probably the best timing of all for the Phillies to have a guy you want to deal throw a no-hitter before the deadline.
Yeah. 13 strikeouts in that no-hitter.
Here's the 1-2. It'll bounce in, knocked down by Jimenez, the catcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That no-hitter that Hamels threw was against the Chicago Cubs. Victor waiting on the 2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Speaking of the Chicago Cubs, did you hear what Joe Madden did this weekend in their 4-game series against the Atlanta Braves? He called it American Legion weekend. He locked the clubhouse until an hour before the game. He did not want his team to show up until 1 hour before the game, play catch and play. And they have won 3 of the first 4 games against the Atlanta Braves this weekend.
He's a master. Popped up right side of the infield, and the second baseman Odor. Madden is known for doing things like that, and he's always felt that guys get to the ballpark too early. I mean, they get there for a 7 o'clock game. Some guys get there at 2.
David Ross, their catcher, said he went to the ballpark because he thought Madden was kidding and the clubhouse was locked.
He does things differently. Here is J.D. Martinez now with 2 outs.
It's a big pitch by Hamill to get Victor to pop up in the infield on that changeup. Tigers know they're going to get a heavy dose of changeups today from Cole, but he's got great arm action on that pitch, and when he's locating, you cannot hit it. And you simply need to look for balls up in the strike zone, whether it be the fastball or that changeup, and when he makes a mistake, put a good swing on it.
That one's yanked foul, 0-1. For JD, 2 out of 10 in the series. He has knocked in 81 runs this year.
This Rangers team playing with a lot of confidence these days. Since July 28th, they have leapfrogged 6 teams in the wild card, and now they are in the playoffs. That's unheard of.
It is, and that's how quickly it can happen.
It can be done by the Tigers, too.
Sure, and it shows that it is possible. 0-2 the count.
I mean, they leapfrogged 6 teams to get to where they're at right now.
They bumped the Angels down a peg with their win here in Detroit last night, and the Angels lost. They were pelted by Toronto. The 0-2. JD sends a ground ball. Diving stop at short. Quick throw to first, offline, and Miguel will go to third, leaving runners at the corners. Nice play by Alberto, but he just could not come up and throw accurately to first.
Man, next time if you're Alberto, you may just want to eat this. You're not going to throw J.D. Martinez out, and you don't want to run the risk of throwing that ball away down the right field line. It's a nice job by more than the first baseman coming off the bag to make sure that ball did not get past him.
Here's Nick Castellanos. At the very least, the Tigers are making Hamels work here in this first inning.
Yeah, quite a few guys getting a pretty good look at Hamels here, which is important because a lot of the guys have never seen him before.
Ball 1. Castellanos is 9 for his last 19. Had a big month of July in terms of RBIs. Drove in 20 last month. Trying to pick up a couple of runners here. Cabrera and Martinez. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six hits in his last 9 at bats with a man in scoring position. And that's the situation here. Here's the 1-1. In there is Adam Hammery, goes up with the right hand. By the way, Marquette native Adam Hammery. He's a Michigander. Calling balls and strikes today in this one. Now Hamels with the 1-2. 2-2 on Castellanos. We were having this discussion the other night. Gibby and I were, Rod, about the socks of Castellanos, and that's why he's been hitting so well. Are you buying that?
Well,
he's changed up the look.
He changed it up, and so he's been hitting since he pulled them up.
Apparently. because the numbers have been great.
Well, that's okay then if the numbers back you up.
I mean, he had that grand slam in Chicago, a couple of homers in that one game.
Yeah.
Down he goes, swinging a miss. Sox didn't help there. Tigers will settle for 1 run and leave a pair. These are expectations of what a bank can be when it's time coming to Comerica. Ram Trucks, find your summer of fun with great deals at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. And by Pringles Potato and Tortilla Chips, Pringles. You don't just eat them. Sunday Kids Day here at the ballpark today. One of the great things about Sundays here. Look at Iglesias, man. Just giving his little Tiger fan a hug. Kids get to run out with their favorite Tigers out to their positions before the game. Mike Napoli leading it off here against Boyd in the second. 1-0 Detroit.
Sunday all about the kids here at Comerica Park.
It is. Run the bases after the game.
Get the faces painted.
Napoli batting .210 was acquired from the Boston Red Sox. Up and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
Napoli was very popular. And when he wore the Texas Rangers uniform, this is his second tour of duty in their uniform, and he said it was just like going back into the old clubhouse. Very familiar with all of his teammates.
Well, it helps to have the postseason that Napoli did in 2011 to gain the popularity that he did gain. He was huge in the ALCS and the World Series for them.
Had they won it, he would have been the MVP, no doubt.
Yeah. It was that kind of postseason. He had 15 RBIs and a .328 average in the postseason that year. He'll rip that one down the left field line. Fair ball. Davis over to cut it off, and Napoli will hold with a single.
If you're going to go inside, if you're Boyd, you might want to go inside a little bit further than that particular pitch. I like the idea of going inside, but you have to make sure you bury it, and so that a guy like Napoli can't get to it. As it wasn't a bad pitch, but somehow, some way, Napoli being so strong, able to muscle that ball right over the head of Castellanos for a solid single.
First hit of the ball game for the visiting Rangers, and that'll bring on Rougned Odor, who hit his 10th home run in the ball game last night. It was the long homer against Guido Knudsen, who made his Tigers debut. Showing bunt, ball 1 high.
Yeah, they sent Odor down to the minor leagues for a spell this year because he was really struggling, but since his return to the big leagues, he has been a really nice performer. Surprising power in that bat. 10 homers already this year, and he's driven in 41.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. He's not a very big guy, but he's got some thunder. He went down and hit over 350 at AAA. Broken bat there.
Good pitch. Pitchers love that sound. Hitters not so much.
Not so much. Boyd had a couple of strikeouts in the first. He pitched around a walk to Chu. Leadoff single here in the second for Texas. Little pop-up, foul ground. Castellanos gets there. Nicely done. And Napoli will hold. One gone. Well, make sure you stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos.
And Castellanos, plenty of room.
Here's Strasburger now. He will bat with one out. He's played in 12 games this year after his call-up. Ball one outside.
He's got some decent speed. Middle infielders know they have to be in a hurry should Strasburger hit something on the ground. Iglesias and Kinsler, they're going to have to be quick with their turn at second base.
There's a snap throw back behind the runner. 2-0 on Strasburger. Boyd has reached the 30 plateau now, and the ratio not where he wants it to be at this point. The 2-0. Bouncing ball third base side. Castellanos flips to second. There's one and a double play. 5-4-3 as they swing it around the horn, and we go to the bottom of the second.
In Toronto, but Holland won't want to be leaving here anytime soon. He's enjoyed his trip here to Metro Detroit because on Friday he went to the University of Michigan. It is there where he was given a helmet. He grew up in Newark, Ohio, 40 miles away from Columbus, but has always been a Maize and Blue fan. And then yesterday he took Prince Fielder, manager Jeff Bannister, and Cole Hamels to Ann Arbor. Bannister had a chance to meet with Jim Harbaugh for 30 minutes and spoke to the team. Fellas, he told me running through that tunnel and speaking to the team gave him chills. It's a highlight of his 51-year career. Back to you.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks, Shep. And I wonder if they'll be able to suit up for week one against the Utah Utes. What do you think, Rick?
I don't think so.
No? He's not going that far, huh? What a great thrill for Derek Holland. James McCann leading it off. We're in the bottom of the second, and it's rolled foul back behind home plate.
Even their manager, Jeff Bannister, getting a chance to address the Michigan football team.
pretty cool experience. Jeff, of course, in his first year as the manager of the Rangers. He's got him in the wild card hunt right now. In fact, they have the second wild card position as we speak.
Who would have thought that they would be where they are? They've missed Derek Holland pretty much the entire season. There's been no Yu Darvish. Beltre has spent some time on the disabled list.
Broken bat rolled towards short. Alberto has it there, and McCann is out by a step. One away. Well, yeah, they've been without Darvish. Also, Jerks and Profar had shoulder surgery, and Josh Hamilton is out right now with a knee problem, so they are without some of their big guns.
Profar, the star-studded rookie, man, he hasn't played in 2 years.
I know it. They've been able to persevere, though. And this guy right here, Cole Hamels, they hope will help them immensely down the stretch. Here's Jose Iglesias. 306 for Iglesias, 2 out of 11 in the series. Strike one. Tigers got to Hamels in the first. They had a couple of hits. The throwing error by Shin-Soo Choo allowed a run to score. Iglesias this year has done some of his best work versus lefties. 347. And he watches that one sail low. 2-1. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. Tyler Collins batting 9th in this game, lurking on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And he missed with it. Ball 4. It's a 1-out walk. First one of the game for Hamels so far. Fans, don't forget to bring a group of your colleagues to see the Tigers take advantage of the team building package. Game tickets, t-shirts, food, all for just $34 per person. 4 games to choose from. Visit tigers.com/group for more information. Here's Tyler Collins. Runner goes. Collins fouled it back out of play.
I like the call there by Brad. And knowing that Hamels was going to go right after Collins, he elected to put the hit and run on. Iglesias didn't take off too soon. And Collins did put the ball in play in fair territory, but he was able to foul it off. Collins getting a rare start here today against a left-handed starter.
Tyler at 268 this year. Chopped at home plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Hamels, since the acquisition, really hasn't pitched all that well for the Rangers. He has made 3 starts here in the month of August for Texas, and his ERA is 5.23.
His final 3 starts for his previous team, Philadelphia, they really weren't that good either before the trade.
The 0-2. Bouncing ball right side. Oh, it hit the lip and it flattens out into right. Base hit. A little bit of a break there for Collins. A single to put 2 men aboard. It looked like Odor might get there for the play initially.
Hamels was able to get ahead of Collins. No balls and 2 strikes. And you're absolutely right. Looked like Odor, with his range at the second base position, may have had an opportunity to get there.
So there's more trouble now for Cole Hamels. Brookman going to play with his glove on his head now for the rest of the game. Here's Rajai Davis. Shows bunt and stopped at home plate by Jimenez. Hamels gave up those 2 hits in the first, actually 3 hits. You count the infield single by Martinez. The air has certainly hurt him, but more difficulties here in the second. A walk and a base hit. The 1-0. High fly ball. Left center field. It's going to be to Shields coming over and calling for it. Davis retired. Two outs now for Kinsler. Ian got it started back in the first with a single. Kinsler now is 12 for his last 24 at bats. And his average now is up to 306. Now Hamill's taking too long. Kinsler steps out.
Ian Kinsler has only hit better than 300 one time in his major league career, and that came back in 2008. Hit 319 that year for the Texas Rangers.
Well, the way he's swinging it here in the second half, I'm giving him a pretty good shot to do it again.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. As hot as he has been, and the way that he's been able to spray that ball all around the baseball diamond.
372 since the start of July. Awfully gaudy numbers. The 0-1. Little pop-up. First base side. And it's going to be caught by Moreland. So the threat is over for the Tigers. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire.
And you see the pitch selection of Boyd: fastball, changeup, slider, curveball. And that's probably the order of effectiveness as well for Boyd. The fastball being the most effective pitch, followed by the changeup, then the slider, and then the curveball.
Chris Jimenez leading it off as we go to the top of the third. It's still 1-0. Tigers have the lead in this one. Jimenez takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It looked like that last curveball thrown at 68 miles an hour just kind of slipped out of the hand of Boyd.
That's in there. 1-2. Jimenez 0 for 3 in the series. Rangers have only a single today. In fact, 13 of their 17 hits in the series have been singles. Used to be a time when the Rangers just bomb away. Here's the 1-2. In the air to left. That ball is hit well. Davis on the move to the track, to the wall, and that ball is gone as the Rangers bomb away. Jimenez hits his third of the year.
Yeah, he did.
So I guess it's not all in the past then. That'll tie the game.
It's a fastball at about 91 miles an hour with 2 strikes to Jimenez, and he probably got too much plate with that particular pitch, and Jimenez able to get a hold of it and hit it right into the Tigers bullpen.
Here's Alberto, the number 9 hitter. He looks at a ball outside. 1-0. 247 average for Hanser Alberto. He's shortstop today. Elvis Andrus getting the day off. In fact, Andrus and Fielder are not playing today, and Jeff Bannister said that probably the rest of the way they'll be in there every single day, so they need to enjoy their day off this afternoon.
Andrus is probably playing his best baseball of his career right now for the last month or so. And you know what Fielder brings every single day.
Fielder having a very good season. 1-1 ball game now. Here's the 2-1. High pop up left side of the infield for Iglesias. He'll stay on the dirt. 1 gone. Time for a game break now. Here's Johnny Kane. All right, Johnny, thanks. Here the Rangers have tied it up 1-1 on the home run by Jimenez. Here's Delino DeShields. It'll slide in for a strike. 0-1.
You'll see Boyd do quite a bit of that during the course of the afternoon. Drop that breaking ball in there for a strike on the first pitch.
DeShields struck out in his first at bat. We were talking about this the other night, but Delino has so much speed that in one minor league season a couple of years ago he stole 101 bases between 2 minor league stops. 101. You don't see that level reached all that often anymore.
And because of all that speed that he has, it's kind of allowed him to make a real nice adjustment in the center field.
Boyd missed again. 3-1. Former first-round pick of the Astros, then a Rule 5 selection from the Astros by the Rangers. High fly ball left field, chasing Davis back. Rajay will have room for this one, or Collins rather. 2 gone. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ghost has the day off today. Rajay actually in center field with Collins in left.
Ghost has been struggling a little bit lately. Says he really hasn't been able to find his stroke the last couple of weeks, but continues to search for it.
Shin-Soo Choo. Ball inside. 1-0. Choo had a walk but did not advance in the first inning. Spins him out of there. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Boyd is having a difficult time of getting that first strike over the plate. He is only 3 of 11 so far today. Hasn't really cost him up until this point. But that's something that you'd like to get better at as you progress during the course of the game.
High fly ball to center field. Davis going back, still going, looking up. Rajay will make the catch right at the edge of the track. Choo gave it a ride, not deep enough to center. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. Rangers have tied it 1-1. Third. And Miguel Cabrera will start things off for the Tigers. Middle of the Tigers lineup coming up. Bernstein Advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup between these two. And, well, I think you could safely say that Miguel owns Cole Hamels.
If I was Hamels, I wouldn't even mess with Miguel. He's already singled once against him today.
No balls, one strike on Cabrera.
And then when you add in what Miguel Cabrera has been able to do this year in day games, it's just scary.
Miggy in the series now is 8 for 11 versus Texas pitching. Video game numbers. 3 doubles in the series. Here's the 1-1.
3 straight fastballs thrown by Cole Hamel. All 3 of those fastballs he tried to get inside to crowd Miguel Cabrera.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Victor waiting on deck. Cabrera sends a hard ground ball to the shortstop Alberto. Even the outs are hard hit, 1 gone.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. It looked like Hamel, for the most part, was really just trying to pitch around Miggy. First pitch was a fastball. It was a strike. Miggy swung. He fouled that off. And then the next couple of pitches, all inside, followed by a fastball up and away. And then he didn't really want to throw Miggy a strike. He made a mistake over the heart of the plate, and Miggy hit an absolute missile right at their shortstop. So Miggy continues to see Hamels very well.
Victor popped up 0 for 1 in the game. Strike 1.
And Victor was out taking some extra batting practice once again on the field with a lot of the Tigers' younger players when they do have a BP on Sunday. You don't really have to come out and take it if you don't want to. But Victor's out there every single Sunday.
It's kind of been his MO his entire career, hasn't it?
Yeah, he loves to hit, man, whether he's hitting from the left side or the right side. He just loves to swing that bat.
If you show up to the locker room and you can't find Victor Martinez, just go check out the cage.
Yep.
He'll be down there taking his swings. Martinez has hit safely in 7 of his last 8. Hamels now with the 2-1. Bouncing ball to short. Alberto has this one as well. And there are 2 outs.
And Hamels, man, he's not afraid to go inside, whether that 4-seam fastball about 94 or that cutter that he likes to cut inside under the hands of the right-handed batter.
Here is J.D. Martinez as Hamels looks for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Strike called on J.D. 14 outfield assists now, and Brad was talking about that before the game. He feels that, you know, J.D. is obviously more well known for his bat. He'll shoot a little pop up towards second, and this time he'll get him. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning. Hamels gets him in order. 3 in the books. Still 1-1. In the series finale is Adrian Beltre leads it off, and when you look at the numbers compared to Miguel Cabrera, they're both sitting on 406 homers.
And both have had really good careers. There's no doubt Miguel Cabrera, whenever he's done playing, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. And a lot of people believe Adrian Beltre has a legitimate shot of getting to Cooperstown as well.
He's been a really good defender aside from his offensive numbers. The odd thing this year is that both Beltre and Cabrera hit their 400th home runs this season 1 day apart. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Boyd. Huge swing there, 1-1.
When you start looking at some of the other third basemen that are in the Hall of Fame, only two other ones have hit more home runs than Beltre, Eddie Matthews and Michael Jack Schmidt. 284, not a bad career average. You think he's got a chance to get in the Hall of Fame?
I do. I'd have to look deeper into the numbers, but I think he's got a shot. Here's the 1-1. Another big swing by Beltre.
And Beltre, when he does take those big swings, it still kind of bothers that left thumb. He spent some time on the disabled list, and he really protects that thumb. You can see that he has that pad on his bat, which kind of helps him out a little bit. But here's a huge swing by Beltre, and he had to take a long walk around because that thumb's still a little tender. It's not going to get well until the season's over.
No, and that's the situation with a lot of guys that have nagging injuries. You see that, try and play through them.
Yeah, you see that pad he has on the bat.
2-2. In the air. Right field, fairly deep, playable though. Martinez waiting, and one gone. Beltre's 0 for 2 in the game. Bring up Mitch Moreland. Moreland is 0 for 1 with a ground out check swing roller right back to the mound. .287 this year for Moreland, who has a career high in homers and RBI. They play the shift against him. And it's a strike called 0-1. Pulled right into the shift and straight at Kinsler. Moreland is out, 2 gone. So that's 5 in a row retired following the home run by Jimenez in the 3rd. Now Mike Napoli. Napoli has not hit for much average this year, .213, but the power numbers are decent. 14 homers, 42 driven in. At one time a catcher in his younger days with the Angels, but Napoli has not caught since the 2012 season. Strike call.
Napoli has always been known more for his bat than his glove. Tremendous power.
Here's the 0-1. Napoli back in 2011 hit 30 home runs. That remains his career high, and that was with his first tour of duty with Texas. High towering fly ball to left. Easy play for Collins. He's under it. And an easy inning for Boyd. 1, 2, 3 they go. you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast, brought to you by T-Mobile. Here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Comerica on a gorgeous afternoon. Glad you're with us for the final game in this series. Castellanos, McCann, Iglesias facing the lefty Cole Hamels. Nick struck out to end the first inning. Tigers had Hamels on the ropes early in this game, but settled for one run in that first. There's a strike called on Castellanos.
And usually when you have a really good pitcher like Cole Hamels on the mound, you want to get them early, because once they start to settle in, they get a little bit tougher.
Which is what he appeared to do in the third with a 1-2-3 inning. Missed it outside, 1-1.
Fastball's topped out at 95 miles an hour. He has really pitched aggressively inside to a lot of the right-handers this afternoon, whether it be that four-seamer or the cutter. He has jammed quite a few Tigers this afternoon so far.
Slice toward right field. Chu will make the catch, one gone.
There's another one of those fastballs inside at 93 miles an hour that crowded Castellanos.
We'll bring up McCann. McCann is 0 for 1, a ground out in this game. Hamels is a three-time All-Star. He has thrown 200 innings 6 times in his career. McCann lines this one toward right center field. That's going to get down. It'll go to the wall. That's out there to Triple's alley. McCann's thinking about it. Here he comes to third. The throw to third base, not in time. A three-bagger for James McCann.
That is the 4th triple of the season for James McCann. And McCann went up there looking for that first pitch fastball. He got it at 93 and put a really good swing on it right between DeShields and Chu. And then he decided to go to third base and got himself another triple.
And it snaps an 0 for 12 for McCann. Once you get it out to the wall, if you have any kind of speed at all, you'll make it for a triple. Infield in. Ball 1 to Iglesias. Tigers adding their triples total 39 now, which leads the major leagues.
And last time a Tigers catcher had more than 4 triples in a season, you don't really have to go back that far. And Pudge Rodriguez had 5 triples in 2005.
Here's the 1-0. On the outer edge, 1-1.
Pudge was a pretty good athlete too, even though he put that catcher's gear on for a couple of decades.
This is one of those ballparks that is conducive to triples if you get it out there to right center field. It's so deep to that wall. Strike called on Iglesias, now 1-2. So the Rangers have elected to pull the infield in here, trying to cut that run down at the plate. Iglesias had a base on balls in his first at bat. Pulled foul, third base side.
Hamels is really bearing that fastball inside to the righties, especially with 2 strikes.
Iglesias still over 300, but he has cooled a bit here in the month of August. 250 this month. Opportunity to drive in a run here. The 1-2. Little chopper foul again. One run, 5 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, just 2 hits for Texas. Collins on deck. Back up the middle into center. That's a base hit. Iglesias gets it done. An RBI single to score McCann.
Just a really patient at bat by Jose Iglesias, who just continues to flourish. this year as a hitter. He has really matured. You talked about his numbers against left-handed pitching. He also does a very nice job with 2 strikes. He finally got a fastball up in the strike zone that he could see, and he put a nice swing on it and hit it right back through the middle. That is one of the few mistakes that Hamels has made with his fastball so far today.
So the Tigers are back in front now as Collins stands in. The thing about Iglesias is he seems to do much better work when he's batting lower in the lineup, 8th or 9th. His averages are above 300 down at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, he is much more comfortable down there. Appears to me that he may try to do too much when he's batting up ahead in the lineup.
And Brad has always said that this year when he was so hot, people were clamoring for him to bat higher in the lineup, but he kept saying that maybe the reason he is hitting so well as he is in the bottom of the lineup. He'll draw a throw. He can run a little too. He's got 11 stolen bases this year. Still only 1 out. Collins had a single in his first at bat. That was back in the second. Right back up the middle. That'll get through. Base hit. Iglesias hits the bag. Going to third. He'll get in there safely. 3 straight hits for the Tigers. And only 1 out.
I like the adjustment the Tigers have made. And Cole Hamels, through the first 3 innings, he's been able to throw that fastball by them. But the last 3 hits have all been on fastballs and very aggressive base running here by Iglesias. And basically running right in the face of the center fielder, DeShields.
Mike Maddox is out there to have a chat, and we tell you the Red Wings 2015 Hockey Fest returns to the Joe Louis Arena Sunday, September 13th. Enjoy an unforgettable day of hockey-related activities, including a chance to meet current players and Red Wings alumni. For Hockey Fest tickets, call 313-471-7575 or visit DetroitRedWings.com.
That was a wise decision by their center fielder, DeShields, not to try to throw Iglesias out at third base. He keeps their double play in order, and had he thrown that ball away, of course Collins, who is now on first base, would be at second. So a wise decision by DeShields.
Rajai Davis has flied to center field twice in this game. Fouled straight back 0-1.
And Rajai upset with himself. He got the fastball that he was looking for, and he fouled it straight back.
Tigers already have 7 hits against Cole Hamels in this game. That'll miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big swing there by Rajai. 1-2. Iglesias at third, Collins at first. Hamels had retired 6 straight, but now 3 hits in a row. Swing and a miss. He left the strike zone. Rajai knew it. That'll be the second strikeout for Hamels. He is 0 for 3 today. We'll bring up Kinsler now with 2 outs. Single and a pop-up for Kinsler. Tigers trying to get a split in this series. It's been kind of an odd homestand. They will have to go to the road tomorrow. They'll fly to Cincinnati after the game tonight, play that one-game makeup tomorrow, which was to be an off day, and then come back home and welcome the Angels to town for 3. As the month of August continues to wind down, Kinsler takes ball 1. Kinsler now 12 for his last 25 at bats. Way outside, 2-0.
If you're Hamels, about right now, you know you need to throw a strike and you need to make a quality pitch, because the last thing that Hamels wants to do is somehow walk Kinsler and then be forced into facing the guy in the on-deck circle, and Miguel Cabrera, who's been on fire since coming on the disabled list.
Drilled towards center field. The Shields on the move, and he'll get there for the out. So the Tigers will settle for 1 run. They've taken the lead. James McCann with a 3-bagger to get it started. Jose Iglesias able to drive him in. 2-1 Tigers. It's brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Save up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Spectacular day here in the Motor Cities. The Tigers face the Rangers, the final game of the series. It is 2-1 in favor of Detroit now as we go to the top of the 5th. Rougned Odor showing bunt, looks at strike 1 from Matt Boyd. Odor popped up in foul ground his first time up. There's another strike called. He showed bunt once again. Now he's down in the count 0-2. He'll be followed by Strasburger and then Jimenez. 6, 7, 8 facing Boyd, who surrendered a homer to Jimenez. That's it. 1-2. Odor had the Rangers' only hit in the first game of the series. That 1-hit shutout thrown by Alfredo Simon. Pull down the right field line. That's going to hook and go to the corner. Extra bases for Odor. He's going to head to second and stop there with a leadoff double. So we got behind in the count 0-2 and comes up with a 2-bagger.
And we told you that Boyd has a good fastball. He also has a good changeup. That looked like that may have been a breaking ball that kind of stayed up long enough for Odor to get out in front of and hit down in the right field corner for a leadoff double. You can't make that mistake if you're Boyd once you get ahead of Odor with 2 strikes.
Now Strasburger stands in, tying run in scoring position, and he shows bunt, takes a strike. Boyd, since coming to the Tigers and pitching here in the big leagues, has faced some really pretty good competition. He's gone up against Johnny Cueto twice. Now he's going up against Cole Hamels today.
Yeah.
He's being tested. Strasburger, a double play ball this first time up. And again he shows bunt and the same results. And now home plate umpire Adam Hammery saying that's enough. He's hearing it from the Rangers dugout.
And Rangers dugout arguing balls and strikes.
And now an ejection.
Oh, he told him to be quiet, basically.
Yeah, a couple of times actually. And the chattering continue, and now Bannister coming out. Adam Hammery repeatedly says, I heard you, enough. And I'm assuming it's Bannister that got tossed. It may have been someone else. So Bannister's out now to get his money's worth. Ron Culpa is the crew chief. He is the first base umpire. He's coming in to try and smooth things out here. Meanwhile, Bannister getting more heated. Well, the previous batter, Odor, showed bunt on the first 2 pitches and took 2 strikes before doubling. Same thing here with Strasburger. He showed bunt twice, and the issue with the Rangers dugout was some of those weren't strikes. Or at least that was their opinion.
He got his money's worth.
That he did. Well, I don't know if he felt that ball was low or that it was. I don't think it was called on the bunt, was it?
No, I think it was called on the pitch. At least it looked like it was.
Well, Bannister coming to the top step to continue his chat with Ron Culpa at first base.
Who, Beltre got thrown out?
Maybe it was Beltre. Yeah, Beltre got tossed. That's a huge development then. So it is officially Beltre that has been thrown out of the game. Now Ron Culpa saying, take a hike, let's go. Meanwhile, Matt Boyd being made to wait right now on the mound. Oh, now what? Bannister now really going out there and having it out with Ron Culpa.
I think Bannister might have just realized he lost his number 3 hitter here today.
So some ejections here for the Rangers, and Ron Culpa really got into it with Jeff Bannister. So a couple of Rangers apparently will be watching the rest of this game from the clubhouse. In the meantime, it's 0-2 on Strasburger after a leadoff double by Rougned Odor. The 0-2. Fouled back out of play.
Steve Buechele will take over as the active manager this afternoon. He's the bench coach. And there's Steve.
Former Rangers third baseman.
Good player. Nice career.
Yeah, really solid big league career. Up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Strasburger. Boyd had retired 6 straight, including a 10-pitch 4th inning, but a double by Odor here in the 5th inning. The 1-2. Ground ball to short. Iglesias has it there. And his throw just barely got him.
Iglesias seeing the Texas Rangers for the very first time, and we told you earlier that Strasburger can really run. He nonchalantly ran back to that second base bag to try to get Odor and barely got Strasburger. He barely got him.
He had no chance to get Odor, and he was fortunate to get Strasburger. He'll probably put that in his memory banks
for sure.
Mark this down. Strasburger, he can run. Here's Jimenez now. Strasburger was unable to advance the runner. Jimenez homered in his last at bat. Ball 1. Two runs, 7 hits for the Tigers in this game. A run on just 3 hits for the Rangers. Here's the 1-0 to Jimenez. It's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. He was called up from AAA on July the 31st. Was playing a lot of different positions in the minor leagues, catching third, first, right. He's been behind the dish in this series. He's got a 2-0 count. In there, a strike call. 2-1. That's 70 now for Boyd. 21 pitch first inning. Three and 1. Number 9 hitter Hanser Alberto waiting on deck. And the 3-1. Strike called. He was headed to first and called back by Adam Hammery. Full count now on Jimenez. And he lost in ball 4.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and as always, it is brought to you by Xfinity. The top fastball thrown so far today by Boyd, 94 miles an hour.
It'll put runners at first and second. Number 9 hitter Alberto comes up.
If you're Boyd in this particular situation, you're thinking about one thing, and that's getting a ground ball to get you out of the inning, and you could do so if you possibly start out with a fastball upstairs and then evolve into your changeup down and away from Alberto.
That's low and in. 1-0. Boyd pitched his college ball at Oregon State University. Was a 13th round pick of the Reds after his junior year, but went back for his senior season of college. Fly ball in the air toward shallow left. Collins coming on, and Alberto is out.
Did he improve his draft status by going back for his senior year?
He did. He improved it by, I believe, 4 or 5 rounds by going for his senior year, and then eventually was drafted by the Blue Jays.
Also a year closer to getting your degree too.
That's right.
Which ain't all bad if they're going to pay for it.
No, definitely take that. And not only that, but they went to the College World Series the next year. So it all turned out well for Boyd.
Yeah, you always hear about guys leaving college after their junior year because that's when most of your bargaining power occurs. But they're very seldom a guy will go back to college for his senior year. Some guys just like that college life.
Well, there's a lot to like.
You know all about that.
Here's Delino to Shields with 2 on and 2 out. Strike one is Boyd trying to still work his way out of a 5th inning jam here. Rangers got a leadoff double from Odor. They've not been able to move him up.
Yeah, Strasburger not able to do his job by advancing Odor over to third base.
To Shields, a strikeout and a flyout. 0-2 now, and Boyd 1 strike away from ending this inning. Only 3 hits allowed by the Tigers lefty. And the 0-2. High to DeShields, 1-2. Waiting on deck, Shin-Soo Choo, the veteran. DeShields now 2 for 14 in the series. Bouncer right back to the mound. Boyd will handle this one, and the threat is over. No runs, a double, a walk, 2 men left. Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. This one, 2-1 is our score. August 25th through the 27th right here at Comerica Park. Tigers hosting a battle of MVPs. Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers face Albert Pujols, Mike Trout, and Los Angeles Angels. For tickets, visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Some changes now with Beltre out of the game. Alberto moves to third, and Elvis Andrus will enter the ball game.
Andrus thought he was going to have the afternoon off.
That's how it started. But he's been pressed into duty with the ejection. Miguel Cabrera, meanwhile, stands in, looks at a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1, Tigers lead here in the 5th. Cabrera, Martinez. Pulled on the ground and through, base hit. A 2-hit day for Miggy.
It really doesn't matter who the pitcher is or what the pitch is. Right now, Miggy, since coming off the disabled list, over 500 and with the batting average and hitting everything extremely hard. Hamels, first time inside here, falls behind, comes back with a nice breaking ball that Miguel Cabrera just whistles right through the left side of the infield. If you're Hamels, you must be thinking to yourself, man, I can't get this guy out.
I might be thinking I just need to walk him. Here are some updated numbers on Miguel. He's coming off the disabled list, 515.
And that's after missing 37 games and really seeing no live pitching and not going down to the minor leagues for a rehab assignment, coming back and doing what he's done. But I guess it really doesn't shock any of us these days.
No, it's not surprising. He's on a different level, I suppose. Tigers now have their 8th hit. Victor pops it up. Shallow left field. Andrews going back, calling. And then Victor is out.
It's almost to the point with Miguel Cabrera that if he continues to play every day and he really doesn't have to miss any more games the remainder of the way, he's going to win his 4th batting title.
Well, he needs to average about 3.7 plate appearances per game. So, I mean, it's definitely doable.
It's doable.
Yeah, another batting title would be in the offing.
Well, take a look at these ranks since Miguel put on a Tigers uniform. Batting average, OPS, home runs, RBI, doubles, total bases. Those are ranks in the major leagues, and that's why people call him the best hitter in the world.
J.D. Martinez looks at ball 1. Infield hit and a pop-up for J.D. Martinez. 2-1 Tigers. We're in the 5th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hamels has been in and out of trouble most of the day. The one thing he's been able to do is limit the damage. Just 1 run in the 1st, 1 in the 4th. Another foul back out of play. Hamels, back in his early days with the Phillies, was the MVP of the 2008 NLCS and the 08 World Series. Had a spectacular postseason run that year. Won 114 games in 10 years with the Philadelphia Phillies. Lifted out of play again.
He has been one of the best left-handers in our sport for a number of years. I mean, when you think of Cole Hamels, other left-handers that come to mind, CC Sabathia, of course, of what he's done in his major league career, and John Lester.
The 1-2. High fly ball into right field. Chu says, I don't know where it is. Now he locates it.
And the one thing that I really didn't know about Hamels, because we don't really see him that often, I didn't know that he was able to pile up as many strikeouts in his major league career as he's had to pile up.
I didn't either. Now, I knew he was a guy that would roll up 200 innings a year, but he has struck out quite a bit. So with 2 outs, here is Castellanos. Nick strikeout, fly out. Nick came in batting .363 versus lefties. This is not your average lefty, though.
This is what shocked me about Hamels. This is since Verlander came to the big leagues for good. He is only 20 strikeouts behind Justin.
Yeah, that surprised me as well.
I would not have known that.
Felix Hernandez at the top of that list.
Verlander sure looks good these days, doesn't he?
It's great to see. He's kind of elevated himself back into the ace of the staff now with the way he has pitched. The 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Even as Verlander was struggling, and obviously he did so because he missed the first couple of months of this year and really wasn't the old Verlander even last year. I don't think he ever wavered in his confidence. He kept telling us, just give me a little bit of time here. And now his last, 7 or 8 have been really good.
Yeah, he has been. ERA very low, not giving up a lot of hits, not walking many. piling up some strikeouts.
Hamill sitting on 82 pitches here as we play in the 5th. With the Tigers ahead 2-1. The 3-0. Castellanos this year has hit a pair of grand slams. One against Seattle, one against the Cubs in that 2-game series in Chicago where everybody was hitting homers. That straightens him up, all 4.
Here's our Menards big money encounter. Hamels, as we will told you, has a really good changeup. He started out the game by throwing a lot of changeups early, and then he started cut fastballs inside. Even though he's only given up 8 hits in the game, the Tigers, when there's been runners in the scoring position, they have not been able to barrel him up. Very important in this situation for McCann to get a fastball over the plate to try to drive him this crucial run with 2 outs. Really a lot of fastballs inside. You see those 9 flyouts. Now that's because he's jammed a lot of the right-handed hitters. Lazy flyouts.
McCann drilled a triple to the gap in right center in his last at bat. Snapping an 0 for 12, and he looks at a strike right at the knees, outer edge. 0-1. McCann also has done well this year versus lefties, 333. Quite a few of the Tigers have really good numbers versus left-handed pitching. Iglesias another. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Jimenez wanted that fastball inside, and Hamels, for one of the few times today, kind of overthrew that last pitch. Stayed up and away to James.
Tigers trying to get closer to 500. They came in at 59 and 63. 4 games under. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that fastball at 91 upstairs, probably a ball, but McCann had no doubt thinking about the fastball because Hamels has thrown so many. The one thing he hasn't thrown a lot of since the first inning is that changeup. As a matter of fact, 70% of his pitches today have been fastballs, which is unusual for Hamels.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Jimenez says it's in the glove. Hamry says nope, hit the dirt. Nice try though.
Yeah, nice sail job. And McCann saw it too.
One and two. In the air toward right field, and Chu is under it to end the threat. No runs, single, a walk, 2 men left. We go to the 6th.
with Ian Kinsler ran right in the face of Chu, their right fielder. He threw it into the Tigers dugout, and Ian Kinsler was able to touch home plate. The Rangers got on the board in the third. It was a solo home run by their catcher Jimenez, and the Tigers scored their second run of the afternoon. 2 out, base hit off the bat of Jose Iglesias right back up the middle.
And so Matt Boyd has done the rest. He has scattered 3 hits in this game, 5 innings, just 1 run, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. And he will face Shin-Soo Choo to get things started, then Elvis Andrus and Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, Matt Boyd trying to do something that no other left-hander has been able to do in the calendar month of August, and that is beat the Texas Rangers. So they are 6-0 against left-handers since the end of July.
And it's in there for a strike on Choo. Another strike, 0-2 the count. Choo with a walk and a fly out. And now 1 for 11 in the series. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit him. Shin-Soo Choo is hit on an 0-2 pitch, and the leadoff man is on.
That's a breaking ball that and Choo appeared to make very little effort in trying to get out of the way of.
Hey, join us again tomorrow. The Tigers travel to Cincinnati. It'll be a makeup game with the Reds. Our coverage begins at 6 with Tigers Live. Tigers Reds tomorrow night at 6 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
How about that, man? Just a quick little overnight trip.
Yeah, it was to be an off day tomorrow for the ball club, but now because of the rain out earlier this year.
Didn't have to pack much for this.
Nope. Little garment bag. They'll do the trick. Here's a bunt down the first base line. Andrews going to try and win the race to the bag, and he will with a nifty hook slide down there head first.
And that is one of the only few times where me personally, I like the head first slide. It's when a guy that has speed like Andrews is running down the line. He's trying to get himself out of the way of the tag. But the one thing that always happens, you always see injuries when guys do it.
And he is gimpy right now. Victor very nearly tagged him.
It's a great slide by Andrews. Victor almost got him on that right foot.
Yeah.
Right there. Nearly got him.
Oh. Question is how badly Andrews injured himself here, or is he just shaken up? Took a pretty hard landing. So the Rangers will have runners at first and second. They're already without Adrian Beltre, who's been ejected from this game. And Andrews, who replaced him, will stay in. He's okay. So a jam now for Boyd here in the sixth. 2 on, nobody out. Mitch Moreland will stand in. Couple of ground balls for Moreland. He is 0 for 2. And really hadn't done a whole lot in the series. 0 for 9. Strike 1. Tigers took a 2-1 lead with a run in the fourth. Moreland not too bad against lefties. 272. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Moreland came in hitting over 300 this month. Played on a couple of teams that have made it to the World Series with the Rangers. 2010, 2011 teams. Neither was able to win the World Series. Now the 0-2. It'll bounce in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a good pitch there by Boyd, especially with the 2 strikes and no balls. You want to make sure you don't want to make a mistake in that count. And you also have to trust your catcher to bury that breaking ball down and away from the left-handed hitting Moreland.
The 1-2. Drilled to right field. That ball is hammered by Moreland. 2 runs will come around to score. And Moreland stands at second with a double down the right field line. He whistles one off the wall, and the Rangers have the lead.
And Boyd left an off-speed pitch right over the heart of the plate. It's a breaking ball that he started right at Moreland and ended up right down the middle. And he just turned on it. And by the time J.D. Martinez over to get and run it down, 2 runners score.
Two big RBIs for Moreland. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Rangers have their first lead. Here's Napoli. He looks at a strike. 0-1. It's the first hit of the series for Mitch Moreland. So really, when you look at the start of this inning, Chu was behind in the count 0-2, and Boyd ends up hitting him to put him aboard. And then the bunt single by Andrews. That's whistled foul, back out of play.
And you could tell by that last swing by Napoli with nobody out. He is trying to get Moreland over to third base by hitting something to the right side of the infield.
For Hagen warming up.
Usually Napoli, he's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah, as far as he can.
Yes, indeed.
Here's the 0-2. Low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the first 3 Rangers reach here. They've taken the lead. And Boyd now at 90. 53 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Little pop-up, foul ground, but Victor won't get there. He'll get back into the seats. Napoli 14 homers this year, 42 driven in. He was acquired this month from the Red Sox, August 7th. In the air, shallow left field. Collins on a charge is going to get there for the out. 1 away. Time for a game break now. Johnny Kane. Those that have seen Miguel Sano play on a daily basis know that he is really coming right now. He's had a really good second half.
He looks very good. They're very high on him. They think he's going to hit 30 homers a year, and it looks like the Minnesota Twins are right about their young prospect.
So here is Rougned Odor. He'll shoot that one foul, back out of play.
Odor has got a really quick bat. He can really hit a good fastball.
Double and a pop-up. Odor at Comerica Park in his career now 11 for 24, so he has been right at home here at Comerica. Began the season as their starting second baseman, but hit just a .144 and found himself back down at AAA. Heard a lot of good things about Odor as he was coming up through the minor league system. Sometimes a little trip down to the minors for a tune-up can do wonders.
A little wake-up call.
That's in the air to center field. Davis cruising over. And Odor is out and planted at second base is Moreland. They can't move him. Hey, September 19th is Star Wars night where the Tigers battle the Kansas City Royals at 7:08. Special ticket packages include a Tigers Star Wars t-shirt and a donation to Stand Up to Cancer, available exclusively at tigers.com/Star Wars.
It's your favorite night, right? Star Wars night?
You know, I saw it when it originally came out, which was, what, a million years ago. But it's neat. Fans get into it. Strasburger now stands in. He's 0 for 2.
That's all that matters, that the fans get into it.
Got that right. Bring your lightsaber. One ball and no strikes on Strasburger. Hit into a double play back in the second. It would be big for Boyd here to strand this runner at third. He's already given up the lead. Now the 1-0. 1-1 and Ryan Strasburger.
It's one of the best changeups that Boyd has thrown here today. And you can see the ball coming off the fingertips. It's a straight change. Good pitch.
One and two. Strasburger played his college ball at Indiana State. 16th round pick. Recalled from the minor leagues in early August the 4th, where he was batting .278 at Round Rock. And the 1-2. Just got a piece of it.
Strasburger, nice story. Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues before finally getting an opportunity to play in the big leagues.
And again the 1-2. Swing and a miss to strike him out. So Boyd comes back. His third strikeout is a big one. They'll strand a runner at second, but Texas has taken the lead. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. All right, Cole Hamels back to the hill now, protecting a one-run lead. It's Iglesias, Collins, and Davis for the Tigers, and Jose looks at strike one. Hamels has not been able to get Jose out. A single, a walk, and an RBI. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Iglesias now with 22 RBIs on the year. He'll watch that one into the glove. The count goes to 2-1.
And Iglesias has gotten himself in another one of those fastball friendly counts. Should Hamels decide to throw him a heater here? If he does, no doubt Iglesias will get a good swing at it. But here comes that changeup.
Soft liner towards second base for the out. Iglesias retired for the first time. One away. College football returns to Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning Thursday, September the 3rd, when former Michigan quarterback Jim Harbaugh makes his debut as head coach of his alma mater and leads the Wolverines against the Utah Utes. The only place you can see it is on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Tyler Collins. Collins hits one in the air to left. Strasburger is there. 2 gone.
Here's an example of what the changeup is designed to do. Iglesias is up there sitting in a 2-1 count. He's looking for a fastball, no doubt. Hamels pulls the string ever so slightly, and that causes Iglesias to hit the ball right up the end of the bat for that soft liner to the second baseman. So that's the changeup at its best work right there.
Well, the point you made is a valid one. He threw a couple of really good ones early in the game, but really hadn't thrown too many since then.
He's made a really nice adjustment throughout the course of the game. Tigers had 3 hits against Hamels in the very first inning, and he threw a lot of changeups. And so he kind of changed his game plan after that. Start throwing that cut fastball inside, start throwing that four-seamer. His life became easier today.
Davis shoots one to short, and a line drive out to Andrus ends the inning. It'll be a 1-2-3. For Cole Hamels on our way to the 7th. He is no longer a Tiger, and right now, Rod, you look at the quintet of Tiger starters, much different.
It is different. Of course, Sanchez now on the disabled list. Green down in the minor leagues. He's injured. Kyle Lobson, we haven't seen him since earlier this year. And of course, Price has been traded. A lot of new faces.
Well, the Tigers have another pitcher on the mound now. Boyd is done for the afternoon, and Drew Verhagen in a Wallside Windows pitching change.
Yeah, Verhagen, only 20 games in the minor leagues this year, 34 and a third innings. And only 3 innings pitched so far this year at the major league level.
And And he will face Jimenez, Alberto, and DeShields. 8-9-1 for the Rangers. Texas has the lead on the 2-run double by Mitch Moreland back in the 6th. Jimenez is homer in this game, and he's also walked. Three to 2 Texas as we go to the 7th. Verhagen goes to work. We're talking about the Tigers starters. Yesterday, Randy Wolf became the 12th starting pitcher used by the Tigers this year. 12 of them. And we were talking earlier, it was just a couple of years ago, in 2013, the Tigers needed only one extra guy. They used 6 all year.
One guy. Everybody made their starts.
Randy, after that Rocky inning, really turned in a nice outing yesterday. 2-1 on Jimenez.
His birthday yesterday. He turned 39 years old yesterday, did Randy Wolf.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1. Rolled foul.
We just saw his brother. His brother is a major league umpire. And his brother, Jim Wolf.
Jim Wolf. Where did we see him?
Houston.
Houston, okay. Now, he cannot umpire games in which Randy pitches, correct?
Nope, he can't.
That would seem to be a conflict of interest.
You think? Little brotherly love.
Of the largest proportions. Slice the other way, base hit. And Jimenez on base for the 3rd time today for the Rangers. That'll bring up Hanser Alberto.
And Tigers on the corners, no doubt, will be anticipating a sacrifice bunt here from Alberto. And trying to push Jimenez down to scoring position.
Slim lead for the Rangers, 3-2 as we play in the 7th. They are trying to win 3 out of 4 in this series here. He shows bunt. Verhagen was a starter in the Tigers system, but recently was sent to the bullpen and is working exclusively as a reliever. Made his major league debut last July in a start for the Tigers. And Drew in that game gave up 3 runs in 5 innings to the Cleveland Indians in his first big league start. Good numbers this year, though, in the minors. ERA a little bit over 3. And that is bunted down to first base. Martinez going to go to second, and he's going to get the force at second base. Hung up long enough to hold Jimenez at first.
It's a nice job here by Victor, coming off that first base bag, and then not even thinking about it, knowing who the base runner was, Jimenez, the catcher, able to get the ball to Iglesias for the force out. It's only the 3rd time Victor's been at first base this year.
It's turned in a diving play down there. That was a nice throw down to second base after pouncing on the baseball. Here's Delino to Shields. He is 0 for 3. Verhagen goes back to the bag. Tigers tomorrow in that makeup game against the Cincinnati Reds will be sending Buck Farmer to the hill. Swing and a miss. 0-1 on DeShields.
And Verhagen has a lot of life on that fastball. Topping out at 95. That's his four-seamer.
Blaine Hardy loosening in the Detroit bullpen. Fouled it off. 0-2. Keone Kalo warming up in the Texas pen. We saw him game 2 in the series. He looked pretty good pitching late.
Texas Rangers, they have a lot of guys in their bullpen with really good arms.
Here's the 0-2. Grounded toward third on the charge, Castellanos. Only one play, and it's in time for the out at first. 2 away, advance the runner to second.
And do or die play here for Castellanos. And with the Shields running, and a real nice pick by Victor Martinez on the other side.
Yeah, short hop pick for Victor. Now Shin-Soo Choo, who walked and scored in the 6th. Looks like they're going to walk him. I take it back. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th and scored. He walked in the 1st inning. So Choo will not bat here. He would rather go after Elvis Andrus waiting on deck. Verhagen's letting it go. And this intentional walk.
Must be easier for him to throw it a little bit firmer than simply lobbing it up there. A lot of pitchers don't like to lob the baseball. They're afraid they might throw it over the catcher's head because it's a pitch that they don't really practice that often. I like the decision here by Brad to put Choo on. Andrews batting only .239 this year with runners in scoring position.
Elvis had a nice bunt single in the 6th inning, which set up the 2-run double by Moreland.
Yeah, but as we told you earlier, Andrews, many people in Texas believe the last month or so, 6 weeks, playing as well as he's ever played in a Texas uniform.
Andrus has matched his career high in homers. He'll look at ball 1, missing outside.
You might want to come back with another breaking ball here if you have any confidence whatsoever in throwing it for a strike. And no doubt Andrews looking for that 95-mile-per-hour fastball that Verhagen has been featuring today.
2-0. Tigers have out-hit the Rangers 8-6, but they've also stranded 8 men on base in this game, and that's been one of the big stories.
They stranded quite a few base runners yesterday as well in that game. I think they were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Kinsler with a nice pickup on the backhand for the force at second to end the inning. No runs, a hit, an intentional walk. We go to the stretch here at Comerica, 3-2. Here at the ballpark, Rangers trying to win 3 out of 4 in this series. They've had Hamels on the mound, who has kind of sidestepped some trouble. But we'll start with Matt Boyd here first. Your impressions of his outing today?
You know, he made a couple of mistakes once he was able to get ahead of some of these Texas Rangers hitters with 2 strikes, and that's kind of cost him in the game today. But otherwise, not a bad outing by Matt.
All right, now Cole Hamels, he's a guy that I think the Tigers had opportunities early to kind of put him on the ropes. They just couldn't take advantage of him.
Well, he's a veteran pitcher, and he made some adjustments very early in the game. Tigers with 3 hits in the very first inning. He simply went to more fastballs after that, and he's kind of had his way against Tigers bats. A lot of good fastballs inside, a lot of cut fastballs by Hamels inside, and he's gotten himself a lot of easy flyouts.
Here's the comparison between the 2 starters here today, Hamels and Boyd, and Cole Hamels will be done for the afternoon as well. And it's going to be a wall side windows pitching change. Keone Kela will check in now for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, big arm for Kela. And we told you they have a lot of guys in their bullpen with mid-90s fastballs. He's averaging nearly a strikeout this year per outing.
Well, the Tigers here in the 7th will have the heart of their lineup coming up. It's going to be Kinsler, Cabrera, and Victor Martinez. And should somebody get on, J.D. Martinez. Kinsler in the ball game is 1 for 3, single and a run scored. Keone Kela came on in that game earlier in the series in which the Tigers faced him late in the contest, and he had a 1-2-3 8th inning and looked really impressive. Rangers won that game 2-0. So he was protecting a skinny lead late, as he is doing here now. 1-run lead.
And it looks like he's working off the first base side of the pitching rubber, which allows him to get that power fastball at 95 away from the right-handed batters. It's exactly where they want it.
On the outer edge, 1-1.
Fastball 95. First pitch he missed against Kinsler, and then he comes back with an 84-mile-per-hour slider.
He's only 22 years old. Born in Los Angeles. Checked it. Did not go, says Ron Culpa. Ian singled way back in the first and eventually scored on a throwing error by Shin-Soo Choo. Strike called. Kinsler didn't really agree with Adam Hammery there.
97 with that fastball. And you can see him working off that first base side of the rubber.
Low and outside, 3-2.
Kela straight over the top with 98-mile-per-hour gas.
12th round pick just a couple of years ago, the 2012 draft. Here's the 3-2. Fouled away.
How do you have a fastball that gets all the way up to 98 miles an hour and you drop all the way to the 12th round?
It's a good question, unless he developed more velocity after he was drafted. But as we mentioned, it was only a couple of years ago. And again, the 3-2. Tardy on the 97 that time from Kela, and the count stays full. In his minor league days, he was voted as having the best fastball in their minor league system. And we're seeing it on display here again today. Pulled right to the third baseman, Alberto. Kinsler hit it on the button. He pulled 98 right into the third baseman's glove. They followed the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat on your smartphone or tablet. Let's see what he can do here against Miguel Cabrera. Pretty good. Threw at 97 right by him. 0-1. 2 more hits today for Miggy. Both of them singles. Fouled away. Now it's 0-2. Right through the teeth of the Tigers lineup here for the young right-hander. He's just gotten Kinsler. Now Cabrera, Victor waiting on deck. Then it would be JD.
They're going to go with one of those 97-mile-per-hour fastballs upstairs. And Miggy able to lay off of it. Now do they go with another fastball here, or does he throw that really good slider that he has at about 84 miles an hour? Something off speed.
Just off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Cabrera spoils that one.
And Miguel went to his no stride approach, realizing that Kayla throws very hard. He didn't even pick the front foot up, just simply lifted the heel off the ground, which gives him better timing at hitting that mid-90s, upper 90s fastball.
Man, does Miggy really mash against Texas? 391
in 69 games.
Low, fill the count now. 3-2. Cabrera's highest batting average in a single season was 348 a couple of years ago. He's at 368 right now.
368.
It's unbelievable. Did he go?
Yeah, he did.
Yep, he went around. Miggy pointing down to first base. Probably shouldn't do that. And Cabrera now is letting Culpa know he disagrees. 2 outs. We got there.
You don't want to mess with Culpa today.
No. He's already been messed with. And as a result, a couple of ejections for the Rangers.
That last swing by Miguel was a really nice example of what I was pointing out to you, the fact that he was not lifting up that front leg, simply leaving that left toe on the ground, but it didn't help him much.
Here's Victor Martinez with 2 outs. A couple of pop-ups and a ground out for Victor today. They play him to pull on the infield. Victor had hit safely in 7 of his last 8 coming into this one today. Low ball 1. Again, Hardy warming up in the Detroit bullpen. We got Moreland leading off the 8th inning, so Hardy looks like he will come in. Pulled on the ground right to the shift. Oh, bad hop over the head of Odor into right field. That is one of the downsides of what can happen when a ball is hit into that shift. It's going to be a bad hop base hit. So the door is opened a bit here.
Ball hit right at Odor. I'm not sure if it hit the lip of the grass or what, but whatever it hit, it jumped right over the head of Odor.
That's the one thing that can mess up the shift. That every now and then playing which it hits the lip of the grass. The Tigers get a break there.
And that ball was hit so hard that Odor really couldn't make the adjustment after it hit the lip. It simply jumped right over his head.
Here is J.D. Martinez. Fouled off 0-1. The Rangers bullpen has allowed 51 home runs, which is tied for second most in the majors, only behind Boston.
Yeah, this is when JD's at his best too, as far as hitting homers, 7th inning or later. Last couple of years in a Tigers uniform.
So the stars are aligned here. Let's see if JD can come through. Martinez 1 for 3. Infield single his first at bat. One ball, one strike. Upper 90s fastballs from the right-hander. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
A little harder slider there thrown by Kayla. The other sliders he's thrown today so far had been right at 84 miles an hour. That one was 87 miles an hour. Didn't have as much depth to it.
In the air toward right field, slicing. Chew on the run, not going to get there in foul ground. Victor was all the way around. We'll have to head back to first base. 3-2. Rangers have the lead in the 7th. Final game in this series. Got him. Strike 3 in the outer edge. JD can't believe it. All he can do is put his hand on his helmet. Couple of strikeouts for the right-hander Kela, and the Tigers will strand a base hit. 7 in the books here at Comerica Park. A close pitch. And he got the benefit of the call. We go to the 8th.
Of Texas Rangers, the manager, Mr. Bannister, was also thrown out. He was one of those, and Adrian Beltre also thrown out by the first base umpire, Ron Kolpa. 3rd career ejection for Adrian Beltre.
It all stemmed from apparently some chirping from the dugout for the Rangers. Adam Hammery threw somebody out, and then Kolpa threw out Bannister.
Yeah. Arguing balls and strikes.
So Beltre and Bannister were Giving the heave-ho as Blaine Hardy now checks in for the Tigers out of their bullpen.
And Blaine's been outstanding really all year long. 55 games, 2.55 ERA. Doesn't walk many. He's only walked 18. He struck out 47.
Mitch Moreland leads it off. He has the biggest hit of this game so far. It was a 2-run double against lefty Boyd in the 6th inning. And he's facing another left-hander here. We mentioned that lefties don't bother him that much. 272 this year versus lefties. 1 ball, 1 strike on Moreland. He has added to his career high in RBIs. He has 66.
Playing first base just about every day this year when he's in the starting lineup. Prince Fielder, for the most part, he has been the designated hitter. Didn't take Prince very long to adjust to the DH role.
No,
I guess when you can hit, you can just hit.
That's true. Prince getting the day off today.
Prince over there chilling today.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a strike, 2-2. Moreland has a long look at that last pitch. There's action in the bullpen now for the Rangers. That would be Sam Dyson. He's warming up.
Another hard thrower with some heavy sink on his fastball.
Pulled on the ground right into the shift. It'll stay true for Castellanos, who throws him out. One gone, and now Mike Napoli. Castellanos will take the long trek across the diamond and go play his regular third base position. I wrote that last one 4-3 in the scorebook. That's incorrect. It's 5-3.
You're right. It is 5-3.
Yeah, it's so hard getting used to that.
You got to pay attention these days.
Here's Napoli. Tigers 9 hits, 6 for the Rangers. Tigers have left 9 on base.
You wrote 4-3 in there too.
Oh, he sure did.
Whoever that is, we called him out.
That is an awesome shot. Right
we
there.
called him out.
You, sir, are incorrect. But I feel your pain, though.
I don't see any C's on there for hits, though. You?
No, I don't. Taking a dig at Gibby there? It's grounded, fella. Gibby and I got into a conversation the other night. He marks ground balls as C.
Right, I saw that.
That's just a C. That's it. I stopped trying to figure it out.
Did he say what the C standard for?
No, it's just an easy letter to write, he said. So I just put a C for ground balls. Okay. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I did notice on that tweet, though, when you tweeted out his scorecard, it looks like where he puts the C is where they hit the ball.
Exactly. Yeah. So if they hit the C to second base, it's right over the second base area. The C. That's driven in the air to left field. Ball hit pretty good. Collins going back. Track. Wall looks up and gone. Mike Napoli with a home run here in the 8th to make it 4-2.
Blaine Hardy had the longest streak in the majors as far as giving up home runs. It's been quite a while since he'd given up a long ball. And that's exactly what they got Napoli for, to help them out against left-handed pitching. It's a breaking ball that stays up 78 miles an hour. Napoli strong enough to get out there and get it. Actually, it was a changeup that stayed up.
2-run game now. Texas has a 4-2 lead, and Rougned Odor stands in. That'll be the 7th hit of the day for the Rangers. Odor is almost hit up and in. 2-0. Second home run of the afternoon for Texas. Jimenez has the other. He hit it back in the 3rd, a solo shot. That is popped up a mile high. Foul ground at first. Victor drifting. 2 gone.
Here's what I was talking about on Hardy. His first home run given up since June 27th of 2014. 85 innings he had gone before giving up a home run. That was the longest streak in the majors. That was a long time.
I think Wade Davis had previously the longest streak.
Yeah, Wade Davis had 125 innings before he gave up a home run just a few weeks ago. He has since given up a couple more home runs since then.
And you wonder with that Kansas City pen, I mean, with all of the talent they have at the back end of their pen, they've been used a lot and in pressure situations.
And Davis's back is a little bit crispy right now. And Hollins is not necessarily as good this year as he has been in the past. So you raise a great question.
In fact, Davis was unavailable when the Tigers faced the Royals in KC last time.
And then after we left, he pitched in a game and promptly gave up a home run in his very first outing.
The thing is, the Royals have such a big lead in the Central. They came in 12.5 up. They can really be cautious if they have to. 3-0 on Strasburger. 4-2. Rangers have added one more. We're in the 8th. Jimenez on deck. And he walked him on 4 straight. So Strasburger's on. Here comes Brad. Wilson has been warming up for the Tigers. Alex Wilson will be checking into this ball game, it appears. Another pitching change here in Detroit. We'll be back. Here's a look at well, some of the crooked numbers the Tigers have had to deal with this year, Rod. The offense, it is what it's supposed to be. The pitching, though, not quite.
Yeah, no balance, really. I mean, obviously the hitting has been really good all year long, but the pitching 13th, 14th in the American League, so that's just not going to get it done, and I guess that's a reason why they are where they are in the standings.
So the Tigers now go right back to the pen. They'll bring in the right-handed pitching Alex Wilson.
A nice year for Wilson, sub-2 ERA. The whip sits right at 1. 34 strikeouts, 10 walks. 46 games he's been in this year. Career high for Alex Wilson. And having a career year out of the Tigers bullpen.
Here is Jimenez. Ball 1 missing outside. Home run by Napoli in this inning has extended the lead for Texas. 2-run game. That's in there. A strike called 1-1.
And good cut fastball thrown by Wilson at 91 miles an hour. Started that ball right down the middle. And the natural cutting action allowed it to catch the outside corner for the strike call. Where will they be without Alex Wilson?
Really don't know. And I think you'd probably throw Hardy into that mix as well, despite the home run today.
Yeah.
Those two guys have been out there a lot.
He was just a throw-in the Porcello, Yoenis Cespedes deal in the offseason. And he's emerged to be one of the most consistent relievers they've had this season. Did you see what Cespedes did a couple days ago?
I did.
3 homers, and he drove in 7.
Well, I mean, you knew that was going to happen based on the year he had here in Detroit. He was going to go over there and hit, and he has.
And they have basically taken over the National League East, the New York Mets. The Washington Nationals, man, are they struggling.
Shocking to me, it really is.
Struggling.
I know they've had injuries. They're a 500 team. 2-1 on Jimenez. The fact that there was no draft pick attached to Yoenis Cespedes made that trade a little bit more palatable for the Tigers to get Wilson in that deal. They gave up Rick Porcello. And so Wilson, as you mentioned, in some ways a throw-in, but he's been throwing well. The 2-1 runner goes. From his knees, throw down a second is in time. Oh, McCannon coming out today.
Boy, he needs a license to carry that gun, if he doesn't already have one.
From his knees with no trouble at all.
Clothesline down to second base.
That was pretty good, wasn't it? Right on the knee for the out.
James McCann, how about this? I mean, he throws his ball off the right knee and throws a clothesline down to Kinsler. Perfectly tag applied by Ian. That's our Chevrolet high-strength steel. And we told you earlier that Strasburger, he can run a little bit.
Well, you figured at some point he was going to go in that at bat. He did, but he ran into James McCann, which very usually does not end well.
Alex loves it.
Yep, giving him some love. Well, let's see what the Tigers can do offensively here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-run ball game now. And we've got Sam Dyson coming in for the Rangers.
12th game for Dyson, 2.31 ERA, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. He was acquired from the Miami Marlins on July 31st.
Dyson, a native of Tampa, Florida. Castellanos leads it off. Sends a ground ball left side. Andrews, the shortstop. Nick is out, 1 gone. Let's check in with Matt Shepard now. Preview of today's Tigers Line postgame, Shep.
All right, Mario, if the Rangers hold on, we will talk with a Texas Ranger. Of course, here from Brad Ausmus. Go inside the clubhouse, too. You guys continue to be amazed, as does everybody, with James McCann's ability to throw out runners. This one from his knees. Rajay Davis came in. I said, that guy's got a hose, man. He goes, from his knees, yo. From his knees. Just like that. Everybody shaking their head.
From his knees, yo.
Is that what he said, yo?
That's exactly what he said, Rod. I'm not throwing any white guy stuff into this thing, okay? I promise you. I'm telling you right now, this is verbatim.
Well, you got some swag, Shep.
I try.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you postgame. Gotta love Shep, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Shep comes to play every day.
Keeps it real.
Dyson back to work, and he delivers low to James McCann.
Dyson's got 97 with his fastball, and it is anything but straight. 97 with heavy sink down and into the right-handers, which is a nightmare usually for right-handed bats.
2 balls, no strikes. Dyson last year for the Marlins appeared in 31 games, an ERA of 2.14. The rest of his time last year was in the minor leagues. And that is in there for a strike.
Swing back fastball at 96. He started that off the plate, and the action of the pitch allowed him to catch the outside corner.
Here's the 2-1 to McCann. Chopper left side of the infield. Again, it's Andrews. A couple of ground balls to the shortstop, 2 gone. There is activity in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Mr. Bruce Rondon. Action as well. Jake Diekman warming up in the Texas bullpen. There he is. So here's Iglesias now with 2 outs. Chopper toward third base. Alberto, quick release. 3 ground ball outs for Dyson. He made that look easy. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. We are headed to the 9th. The Tigers down by a couple of runs, and looks like Bruce Rondon will come on a pitch in the 9th inning.
And the hard-throwing right-hander Rondon fastball gets up to 100 miles an hour. The one thing that has been impressive about Rondon is the emergence of his slider and his changeup this year. If he continues to evolve in a positive direction. There's no doubt he can pitch at the back end of the Tigers bullpen the remainder of this year and into next year.
So Rondon will face Jimenez, Alberto, and then DeShields. 8-9-1.
Little fella's got a couple of baseballs.
Yeah. It's a good day's work right there.
Yeah, look at him trying to get another one.
Jimenez was at the plate when Strasburger was thrown out by McCann. So he will start with a fresh count here as we go to the ninth. Tigers about to hit the Rangers 9-7, but trail by 2. Rondon pours one in. It's a fastball to 98 for strike 1. Pretty good day for Jimenez. Been on base 3 times. Single walk homer. In the air toward left. Collins will come on to make the play. 1 up, 1 away. Here's Alberto with 1 out. He's 0 for 3. Rondon this year, 29 strikeouts in 23 appearances. That's flared out of play 0-1. He's got the classic arsenal for a closer, doesn't he? I mean, a fastball in the upper 90s, improving slider.
Yep. As long as he learns how to mix them up to get some easier outs late in games, miss some bats. Never really has an issue of walking people, but he does fit the profile of a guy that can close out some games for you. Look at that pitch right there. And that's because Alberto was sold that he was going to get a fastball. He was trying to get out there ahead of it. And he swung at a ball that bounced in front of home plate.
You saw a shot of Tallis in their closer. He'll come on in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tigers will have Collins, Davis, Kinsler.
He's the only one in that bullpen that does not throw 95 miles an hour. Tallis.
That'll bounce in and drill McCann right in the chest protector. One and 2. Swing and a miss. Rondon with a strikeout, and there are 2 gone.
He took a little bit off the slider. Usually Rondon's slider right around 90, 91 miles an hour, but he took a little bit off of that one. That one at 87 miles an hour, and you can see the very uncomfortable swing by Alberto.
Here's Delino DeShields. No hits in this game, 0 for 4. And on 2 for 16 in the series. Ball 1. DeShields has put the ball on the ground twice. He has struck out once and flied out once. And Rondon missed the corner. 2 balls, no strikes on Delino DeShields. That's in there. Alex Wilson for a spell was given opportunities to close game for the Tigers, and then he had to be shut down for a little bit because of a sore arm, and then Rondon kind of stepped in and showed that he could do it.
Yeah, Rondon had about a 6-game stretch there where he was pitching some lights out baseball, and that encouraged Brad to give him the ball later in games.
Low ball 3.
And throw it right down the middle and let him hit it as far as he can.
DeShields has only 1 home run this year. Here's the 3-1. Strike call. DeShields was on his way to first. 3-2. Should he reach? Shin-Soo Choo waiting on deck. And the 3-2. Ground ball foul, third base side. Castellanos hands out a souvenir. Oh boy. Yeah, he got it. His day's made. Swing and a miss. He went around. Strike three. A 1-2-3 inning for Rondon, including a couple of strikeouts. We are headed to the bottom of the ninth. Of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by the new movie No Escape, in theaters everywhere, August 26th. Spirit of Detroit back here in the Motor City. 4-2 is our score. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers got to get it going right now. And they will have the number 9 hitter Tyler Collins leading things off against a new pitcher. It'll be the closer for the Rangers, Sean Tollefson.
He's been nearly perfect in the save department this year. 24 of 25 in 55 games this year for Tollefson. 62 strikeouts, only 12 base on balls. And of course, you know the ERA sparkling at 2.75.
Collins 2 singles and a fly ball in this game. 2 out of 3. And he slaps the first one back out of play. 0-1. Tollefson last year was a pretty good setup man. Very reliable in his first full season in the major leagues. Took over the closer's role in late May this year. That'll miss low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Collins takes low. 2-1 the count. And he missed again. 3-1 on Tyler Collins. Tigers need to get a man on and bring the tying run to the plate. Here's the 3-1. Grounded foul. Collins had a rip. Tollinson converted his first 13 career save opportunities. He was made the closer on May the 20th. And his 24 saves since May the 20th. Most in the American League. Collins in the air, slams his bat to the ground. Who wants it? DeShields does, the center fielder.
Let's take a look at the big boy, big play of the game. Mike Napoli, who they just acquired about a week ago from the Boston Red Sox. And they got him to help them against left-handed pitching. Well, he did that today. And they got a change up from Hardy and hit it out to left field.
What a huge run that was for Texas. That turned a one-run game into a two-run game. Napoli going deep. One gone in the ninth. Here is Rajay Davis. Davis looks at a strike, 0-1. Couple of flyouts, a strikeout. He lined out his last time up. One ball, one strike on Davis. That's in the air toward right field. Chu will make the catch. There are two gone. Now Ian Kinsler. Singled and scored a run in the first. That is it today for Kinsler. 1 for 4. Ian looks at a strike.
And Tollinson not overpowering, but real good command with that 92 to 94 mile per hour fastball.
Bouncing ball to short. Could do it. Andrews. His throw is in time, and the Rangers take 3 out of 4 from the Tigers in this series.
Well, the Rangers are playing like a team that wants to get into the postseason, and that's where they sit when they leave here today at Comerica Park. 1/2 game up in the wild card race.
Final score on this one today, 4-2 in favor of Texas. We'll be back.